Hey, what's up everyone? So today I'm gonna be making some black rice. It's known to Haitians as Djon Djon. This is my version. I hope you guys like it, and let me show you what I'm gonna be doing. So for today's ingredients, what I'm gonna be using is I used a half a cup of lima beans. I use red, green, and yellow pepper, about a half a cup. I use a half of a sweet onion, 5 garlic cloves, about 3 strands of thyme. I have 3 Roma tomatoes, the smaller ones, and I cut them up. Also have a scotch bonnet pepper. I have 5 cloves, shrimp. This is my mushroom that you would get from the store, which is the Djon Djon, which makes the rice black. But I also like to use a black maggi in my rice as well. I also have coconut milk, which I've freshly ground the coconut, and I've squeezed the coconut into a milk, which I'll show you all how to do in another video. I have my epies, which is like a blended seasoning from our previous videos. Also look out for the video on how to make epies. I have a cup and a half of veggie oil, and I'm just gonna be using salt to taste, all right? So let's get in the kitchen and get it started. Like I was saying about the black mashed mushroom, this is what it looks like, the black mushrooms. You can't get it anywhere. You have to go to like a Caribbean store to find this ingredient, but there are a lot of places that sell it online. This is actually what the black mushroom will look like once you boil it. It's actually jet black, but like I stated, I just love to use the black maggi because I feel like it makes the rice better in a way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by adding our veggie oil, okay? We're gonna add our veggie oil. And then after we add our veggie oil, what we're gonna do is add our veggies like the onion, pepper, the garlic. And what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm just gonna let that saute down for a bit. I wanna let these get kind of soft, but not too soft. I still want them a little tender because remember, we still have to cook the rice down. Also, guys, I did not mention that I'll actually be using 3 cups of rice. So I'm actually doing this rice for a week. So we're gonna be cooking quite a bit of this rice. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna let this saute and we'll add our next ingredients, okay? So next what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna get my Roma tomatoes. I didn't use too much. I used about, like I said, about 4. And I'm just gonna throw the tomatoes in there. I'm also gonna go ahead and get my cloves. Cloves are very bitter, but this is what gives the rice like a really good color, or a really good flavor, should I say. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add my clove in. And I'm gonna cook that in and let it cook down with my veggies. The aroma from this smells amazing already, like I said in all my other videos. I just love the smell of fresh veggies, especially the garlic. So next what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna add our epies. This is what my epies look like, guys. Looks very good, and it lasts for a very long time. I have a wooden spoon, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use a wooden spoon and measure it like that. So 1 spoonful is about 3 tablespoons. So I actually wanna do about, I'll say about 9 tablespoons of the epies. And look at this, you've already got your epies in there frying. I'm just gonna turn the stove up to high because we want our epies to cook, and I'm a little pressed for time, so I don't wanna drag along, should I say. So as you guys can see, this is what it's looking like as it cooks, which is perfect. Also, guys, you can follow me on Instagram at the underscore the overcomer 123. You can also follow my Facebook page at Desmond Taylor. Okay, so my veggies are actually perfect. So it's time for the next step, guys. The next step is adding our lima beans. So I'm gonna add my lima beans. And it's time to mix our lima beans because we actually want our lima beans to fry in with our veggies. Look at this, guys. This is just like, kind of like a veggie stir fry. We actually are gonna let our lima beans saute for about, let's just say 5 minutes before we add our next ingredient. So our lima beans have been sauteing for about 5 minutes, which is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and add my shrimp. These are some nice Argentinian shrimp. I got them from Publix. Majority of the time what people do is they use the dry shrimp in the package, but I guess my local market was too bougie to have them, so I just worked with the real thing. I'm gonna add the shrimp, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix in the shrimp. I don't wanna saute the shrimp in for too long because let's remember, we also have to boil our rice. So we'll let this cook for about, let's just say 2 minutes. So the 2 minutes have passed. Our shrimps are in excellent condition. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add my first black Maggi cube, or my only black Maggi cube. Like I say, I believe it brings out the flavor much more. You can find this, and like I said, in a Caribbean store, or you can order it online if you wanted to. A lot of people have it, and it's really good. So this is what's gonna actually help turn the rice black. As you can see, as I'm sauteing, it already has somewhat of a black color. Look at that, the beans are getting black. I left the shell on the shrimp because I want the shrimp to kind of keep its color. You guys can peel it off, or like I said, you can go to your local market or any store that might have the dried shrimp and use those. Those are much smaller. So our next step is to add the coconut milk. Look how creamy this coconut milk is. It's really, really good. Still has some coconut shavings. It's very simple to make your own coconut milk. I kind of like to do things on the natural side and use all natural ingredients because as you all know, I mean, you never know what's in the stuff that we buy at the store. So look at this. Our black Maggi has dissolved. We're gonna add our coconut milk to the mix. And we're gonna mix in our coconut milk. And this will further help our black Maggi cube dissolve. Look at that, guys, see? Look how dark the water is. That's exactly what you want. If you don't have the dried mushrooms, you can always use the cubes, which you'll find more likely at, like I say, any Caribbean store. Also with the coconut, you can use cream of coconut. There's canned coconut. There's also there's all sorts of coconuts, but I like to do everything from scratch. So very odd, but good. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to add our rice. Like I said, this is about 3 cups of rice. I'm actually gonna use the whole thing because I'm cooking for an event. And I'm just gonna pour that inside of there. I'm gonna stir it around so that everything can be even, which is exactly what you want. We have our cloves, we have our veggies, we have our coconut milk, we have our black Maggi. There's still some black Maggi in, but it's fine. It's gonna boil out, guys. You initially want to pour the coconut milk in first. That way you get the coconut flavor in the rice. Of course, this has a very strong taste to it, the mushroom. But I find when I add the coconut first, it just absorbs in the rice really, really well. I'm gonna turn my heat up a little above high. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start adding the black mushroom water. Look how dark this water is, guys. There's actually mushroom inside. But this water is very dark, exactly what you want. I boiled the mushroom for maybe about 5 minutes so that I can get the full effect of the mushroom. And I'm gonna go ahead and add it. Guys, and a very good trick too with rices. If you're making a flavored rice and you're not too sure about if you put enough water in it, you can always get some aluminum foil if your rice is still hard, and put the aluminum foil on top and place your top on everything and just let the rice steam out until it's tender enough the way that you like it. This is actually what it should look like. The water's dark, you got your coconut, you got your veggies, you got your lima beans, you have everything. We're gonna go ahead and get our thyme and we're gonna throw that in there, and we're gonna get a scotch bonnet pepper, and we're also gonna throw that on top. Do not, whatever you do not cut the scotch bonnet, do not poke a hole in it, do not tamper with it because it will make the rice extremely spicy. I don't really want my rice spicy. I just want the skin of the Scotch bonnet to give it an amazing flavor. That's all I want to do with it, okay? The last thing that you want to do for your rice is you want to add salt to taste. I'll say about a tablespoon of salt should be good, but do it to taste. Taste your rice or the water to see if it's seasoned enough, and you just go from there, okay? Mix that around, and we're gonna taste it. Oh my gosh, that's good. I'm actually gonna add just a hint more of salt. And there we go. With this dry coconut, which is very, gives it a pop and a very interesting taste. I'm just gonna get some of this coconut and I'm just gonna sprinkle some in the rice. Not a whole lot, but just a little, just to give it a kick. Like I said in all my videos, everyone says, oh, this is not how you do it. This is not the way it's supposed to be done. But make your dishes unique, make them pop, make them stand out. Not everyone wants to be the same, mediocre, over the top, whatever you like, do it. As long as it's good now. So I'm just gonna stir the coconut in. As it looked like I put a lot of coconut, but now as I stir it in, you can barely even see it. And we're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna place my top on and I'm just gonna turn my eye down to about 7. Check on your rice so that it doesn't burn on the bottom and you're in good taste. We're gonna come back and we're gonna see how it looks once it's done. All right, guys? All right, guys, so this is a finished product of our rice. Also, like I mentioned earlier, what I did is I got some plastic wrap, or not plastic, but aluminum foil, and I just coated it on top of my rice because I didn't put enough water, but that was completely fine. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my eye off, and this is our finished product. The rice is all done and cooked. You have everything incorporated, the shrimp. You see our pepper, it's not poked well, oops, but it's there to give our rice a good flavor. And this is the outcome of our Djon Djon, or as Americans would say, black rice. I hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. Like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, your family, anyone that loves Djon Djon in particular. And just look forward to the next video, guys, okay? Have a good one.